Hey, good day. It's the Erie Hobo right in front of you, and right here we've got a trailer dolly, and this is what I've been, since I got rid of my old heavy-duty lawnmower, old John Deere with creeper gear, I've just had to use that around here. It's not very good for over here on gravel or gravel at the back. So what do I do? I was thinking, well, I'd like to motorize this, and my original thought was to use my son's old project here. It's hard to see, but this is a frame here. It was a motorized sofa. Had an old steering wheel up there, and he had it in a few parades, but it's unused right now. So I thought this 6.5 horsepower motor with a centrifugal clutch would be good. But then, yeah, I could just take that back unit and somehow convert it. Problem is the centrifugal clutch is not much good. It burns out, and gas is messy. It's not very compact. So what I figured I'd do is build something of my own, and we get some old bed frame material, yeah. And we'd build something like this frame right here. Excuse the welds, it's a crappy job by myself with an underpowered welder. Right here is the idea from numerous channels on the internet. Take a cheap winch. This one cost me about 70 Canadian on sale. And put the smallest sprocket you can on it, on this aluminum spool, which you modify. And then it's going to be mounted under here. I'm going to put this all together later, and you'll see. And then there's a largest sprocket you can put on here, weld to the shaft. Got some pillow blocks that are going to be attached here and here. Got some wheels here. I did a crappy job here, but I sleeved one end and welded it there, and it'll be welded to the shaft. It'll be a two-wheel drive with no differential or anything like that. It's going to have a caster up at this end, and you see this channel here. A portion of this square tubing, I'll cut it in half, will go there as a riser to hitch up to proper height, and then this receiver will attach to that. The winch has various controls that'll give me forward and reverse. There's some chain, and that simply is it. But surprisingly enough, that's about $200 of material. So next I'm going to put it together, and I'll show you the general effect afterwards. Okay, here's the assembled product. Still some further welding required. Just a little touch up here, but this piece right here needs to be welded here, and this needs to be welded here. My neighbor's got a heavier welder. He is a professional welder, actually, so I'll be ashamed of all this crap here, but anyhow, he'll lay a good heavy bead there. Actually, I could do that to that solid. I could just see it settling. I could do that, and from underneath also. So anyhow, so that's how it is. You notice how the hitch is not, it's back of the axle a little bit. This thing under torque may tend to tip a little bit, but it's actually back this side of the axle. The chain I haven't attached yet, but the chain will go here. It's pretty much in line. The other welding which I can do is probably use the acetylene for this. Is I'm just going to weld that to the axle, and I will weld that to the axle as well. And after that, it's wiring it up. One other thing, I need to put a tiller handle on it, so I believe I'm going to make a socket in here, and I'm going to put up a handle. That's to be determined anyhow, but I'll put something on that. So the next thing I'll show you is after it actually is done, and hopefully I'll be trying it out. Okay, here's the completed project. It's got a handle on it now. It's from an old sheet metal brake, that homemade sheet metal brake that was added on, and the sheet metal, I went through all the bed frame stuff. My neighbor did some nice heavy MIG welds here, and the rest I did crappy job with my cheap MIG, and I was able to do some of the heavy stuff with acetylene torches, a little slower, but anyhow, long short is we've got the winch motor there. It's got a 24 tooth drive sprocket, and this is a 60 tooth driven, and that gives you a 2-to-1 ratio, and it creeps along fairly well. I've got a 1 7/8 ball on it right now. That'll go in these 2-inch sockets, okay. Also, I've got one, so I've got 2 trailers with 2-inch, and I've got one with a 1 7/8. And we've got the wheels here, they're holding up pressure. I went and bought a new battery because the one I was going to use was toast. And yeah, so we got, as far as electronics, we've got the power in here to the winch. That's the black box, which basically has the reversing, reversing solenoids in there, so I can reverse forward and reverse. There's a key switch, comes out of that box, and the key switch goes up into this little top hat thing. And here, we'll try it. We'll go forward. Oops. Before we do that, there's a freewheel. I've left the freewheel so I could pull it around by hand. But there, it's engaged. And we go like so. And it's just a fairly leisurely stroll. We push back on the top hat. And there we go. Whoops. Without weight on the tongue, it's very unstable when the caster's in that position. Once you get swung to that direction, it's pretty good. For turning, it's skid steer, like it's a lock to, there's no differential or anything. So there's a little bit of skidding, but the nice thing is, once you get it going, it just pivots around that inside and slips and drives on the outside. So there's not much else to say. We're going to try it out now. So we could try on this trailer, or it's more fun, we'll go try the boat. So hang on till then. Okay, let's try hooking up this trailer. I can't hook up the boat trailer. I just realized to pull it. I've got one of the wheels off. I'm changing the wheel bearing. But we'll do this camping trailer. And go. See how it freewheels nicely. Tip it up because I'm lazy. I'll put it in the socket there. Boom. What I'm going to do is disengage the freewheel, engage the gear on the winch. Notice how that is joined in there. Okay, it's a 1 7/8 ball, put a 2-inch socket. It'll do just fine. Get that clear. Lock out. I don't think this is chopped. I have to check clearance. There's another trailer, a friend's trailer behind there. Oh, let's try backing it up. Now there is a tendency for the thing to heel up. I pull the handle down. This is literally my first time trying this. This is really cool. So that is my first time trying that. So I'll tell you it works, and that's that.